where was I? So, I'm turning a collar now. Ow! My dog wants something. And she's angry that I haven't figured out what it is. And she definitely wants me to get up off my butt and go figure it out. So I think I'm gonna have to hit pause again and go figure that out. See? That makes a nice little corner. Let me finger press this because I think that will be enough. Just want to make sure I do it really well. Good. See? Nice little collar. Ow! She's digging in my arm. So I'm setting things up, and since I am making alterations to this is going to look weird, but I'm going to be running some elastic through here to create a cuff and not creating a ruffle. So instead of a ruffle, we're going to have a little cuff for a young man. It should end up looking like a poofy sleeved sort of poet shirt. At least I've seen them called that. So that's what I'm doing now. The pants are lined up and ready to go. They don't really need pins, it's all straight lines. Collar has been turned, it's not time to work with that. Band has been turned, it's not time to work with that. And I haven't turned my vests yet. So the pants are ready, and I'm getting the shirt ready. So I'm turning things right side out and pinning them. Probably gonna iron them in lieu of doing like stitching all around. We'll do less stitching and iron it. I still haven't decided if I want cats or mice, so I'm making both. I'll decide later when I get the kid dressed. Although I did tell somebody to help me, and he has not got back to me with an answer yet, so we'll see what he does. I'm probably gonna be doing voiceover on all of this. This fabric makes a cute little vest, I gotta say. I don't like you. What are you doing? Okay, now I know. Like so. So yeah, I think I'm just pressing these, but right now I'm gonna go ahead and turn them the right way around. Oops. Ah! Get back here! So this is actually going to be tedious to watch and watch and watch and rewatch, so you're not going to. I shall spare you. But I'm just turning this right side out, like so. And since these are being ironed before they get sewn together, I'm going to set it aside, and I'm going to have to move my Mr. Moose, because Moose is sitting on top of the stuff that I do need to sew right away. Sir, excuse me, Moose. He's watching birds. He's not interested in anything I have to say. Which is honestly quite adorable to me. All right, I'm setting this aside. Excuse me, sir. Begging your pardon. You can stay, but I need what you're on. Thank you. Sorry to disturb you, kind sir. Yeah, sorry. He's a very nice kitty. I love that kitty. Our Moose is such a sweetheart. Anyway, here's what we're doing. And yes, this is going to change the shape of the sleeve a little bit, and I'm fine with that. It's got like a room for a ruffle, and I'm not doing a ruffle. Hey, Bill, are you available? They need their water thing filled. I neglected to remove my pins, so now I have a casing for the elastic. And I'm going to do it on this side too. Moose is like, peace out. Whoopsie. There we go. That was because my pin got in the way. Here we go. I've been recording this whole time. I'm hoping to speed things up and put music over it.
Alright, good.
We'll see if I do. Otherwise, people will just have to learn to get used to the chaos that is my life. Get out of here. There we go here. Is that what I want to do? No, it's not. I'm not doing that. Okay. I'll regret that if I do that. Because I need to put a cuff on here. Look at that perfect little pocket to keep their tiny, tiny doll stuff in. And I'm going to do about 1/2 inch. I think that's all it takes. Like so. It's just a lot easier to do doll clothes and sometimes baby clothes and sometimes toddler clothes. It's easier to do cuffs and hems and such before you sew everything together. So that's what I'm doing. I can take this off. Like so. Ta-da! See? And I expect for this I'm going to want to do the crotch before I do the inseam, which is fine. Finger press, like so, is enough to get this job done. Pin here. See, since I am working directly within my dining room, expecting people to stay out and never make a noise is straight up unreasonable. So we all have to sort of work together and have patience. Which is saying something because I never have patience. I don't have patience. The fact that my children are even alive, you know, is a miracle. But actually, my children were quite good. I have no real complaints about my kids' behavior. Because they were not that hard for me. My mom used to like to say, God must know you have no patience because these kids are so good. Anyway, next, go like this, go like this. And then I can sew the casing here and put the, actually I should do the front first. And then put the elastic in through the back and stitch it closed. So I'm going to do these together and then I'm going to sew the casing here. I'm not planning on using pins because they're shaped exactly the same. There we go. Like so. I can't find my little snippers right now. They're missing. They must have fallen somewhere. So, doesn't that look like pants to you? Well, now I'm going to give a good waistband. So I'm going to fold that over. Can I fold that over an inch? Nope. Going back to 1/2 inch or so. And I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna pin where those seams are so they're pressed open. I need to have enough room to get through with the needle and the elastic. And the elastic is very slim, so no major marks, but I do need room to do this. Got pressed open, fold it. Can you see? I can't even tell. And pin it. And just to make sure I keep things nice and even, finger press over here. You don't have to rely on finger pressing if that's not your jam. You can totally take out an iron, a full-size iron, a small iron. You know, they have these little, have you seen the irons that come with these for crickets? Those are excellent, would be excellent for doing baby clothes. Small quilts, pieces, you know, baby quilts and stuff like that. You could totally use one of those little cricket irons for that. I'm thinking about getting one and I don't even have a cricket. I just want the tiny iron. Oh my goodness, little lady wants to go outside again? Girl, you've been outside. She doesn't like being in the house. The weather's nice and she wants to go out. Back it up. There we go. That was almost a problem. Hang on, I'm gonna ask the girls to come take you out. You just gotta give me a minute. Thank you, sweet baby. One moment. Just another moment. It's okay. All right. And there is the casing for my elastic. Ta-da! We'll be back in a moment to record any of that. And we're back because I have a waist to measure. And then we'll do this. So, hey, cut that out. Ta-da! Because I don't feel like precision is absolutely necessary with elastic. As long as it's tight enough, you should be good to go. I kind of like how these older Cabbage Patch Kids have these itty bitty hands. Like, why are you stuck? It is stuck under there. Here we go. I have rescued you. You are now saved. All right, so we'll go for the wrist right here, right? And we'll cut 2 of those. Ta-da! Somebody has come to take the dogs outside. I think you are correct. I bumped his head on the sewing machine. I'm sorry, Baldie. Sorry. Now, because I did alter the plan, I can cut all of that off. Oh, it's not a problem. Boom. And on the other side, like so. And here. It's gonna be good. You're gonna see. Wait till you see this. Now, let me show you how I do this. Since it's on top, I'm just going to start with the shirt. So, most people already know this who are people who sew. This is nothing new. This is not a hack. This is just very typical. Grab a safety pin, run it through the casing, make sure it doesn't go all the way through or you're going to be very sad. Get on through there. Okay. Where the seam is always a difficulty, but I will get it. There, I win. And then a little bit more. And right about there. I'm gonna pin that. Ta-da. Here we go. And I may not make him a bow tie. I may let him wear the front of his shirt open. Nice and casual. Just the top button, you know? And then we go like this. And like this. I hope that made sense. But if it didn't, I'm about to do it again. So, let me show you first. Inside out. And then we're going to stitch through here. I'm probably going to start this way. And do that at the end. So let me put the other elastic through. If I can find it. Well, the casing. Here it is. This is going to be a puffy sleeve shirt. But I think it's going to look nice with his vest and little trousers. I like little trousers. And the vests are green and purple, so we can either complement or coordinate. Ah! I did what I said don't do, but only just barely, so I can come in and grab it. So now you know what to do if that happens. There we go. And it's even, if you cut it even bigger and leave more sticking out, it's even easier. But I'm trying not to waste as much as possible. Mind you, I've got tons of it. And this is all left over from 2020 when I was making face masks. So it's not like I'm running dry on elastic anytime soon. See, bring the two sides together, pin them together, like so. And I will put a couple of pins in here because now that things are being gathered and rounded off and folded, they won't want to line up as nicely anymore. Like so. Stick a few pins in there. And go here. I'm using, in case you're wondering, much longer pins than I need to. These are for quilting. I just can't be bothered to switch back and forth because I only have the one magnetic pin cushion. So I just don't bother switching. I have plenty. I have them with great big heads on them and I have them without. I just can't really be bothered to care. Although I will, you know what, I was about to say I will change needles as needed, but that's a lie too. And the dogs are coming back in. Thank you. She will come in when she realizes she's alone. Yep. That'll be when it's time for me to go let her in. You don't have to wait for that.
And her eternal quest to lick the inside of my mouth, she's running into the door.
Oh. Well, I am still recording. And then we'll do the collar and band. But we probably will first do the hem on the bottom because that's almost no work at all. Setting that aside. One moment, please. All right, this is no different. Just insert and away we go. And if you have to do a smaller casing with a smaller elastic, you just use a smaller safety pin to get the job done. And I have 3 of these to go through now. And you can make pants for people the same way. As a matter of fact, pajama pants are typically 1 pattern piece instead of 2 in a pocket. And it's even easier because you've only got the seam you start at and then the seam you end at. And I do those differently too because I make both of them completely, turn one right side out, stick it inside the other one to sew the crotch. It's super, super easy. I love doing pants. It's literally just 2 sleeves sewn together. It's so easy. This is actually a complicated way of doing pants, and it's still super easy. Oh, sounds like my little lady's ready to come inside. Now she's gonna have to wait a moment. It's just a little bit sticking out, please. Did it again. I need to make like a little hook so I can reach in there and grab stuff when I do that. Because I admit I do it a lot. Come to mama. I do it far more often than I care to admit because I often forget to pay attention. Welcome to ADHD. I'm hoping as an ADHD crafter, if you see the lazy crap way I do things, it'll make you feel better about doing it yourself. You know, when you realize that there's actually a more efficient way than you've been taught. Not necessarily the best way, but it may make you feel like, yeah, okay, I could do it if I did it that way. But you want to make sure you do a good job. Anything worth doing is worth doing well. Come on, get your finger in there. All right. We're going to sew the crotch next. Okay, let me separate you. Okay, I'm going to pin this and then I'm going to go let my dog in. Because she's waiting. She's not outside, by the way. She's just in the garage. Ta-da! Well, guess what? I decided finger pressing is enough, so I'm going to go ahead and do this one while I do the pants. And I'll do the other one off camera because it's the exact same process. And then we can decide when they're done which one's the best option. Or the person if the person I've asked has got back to me, I'll tell you what decision was made. And if he doesn't get back to me, he's a poopy head who doesn't do as he's told. And he will suffer literally no consequences. I'm silly. All right. Back at it. We're about to finish the pants. They're going to be so cute. Wait till you see these little trousers. This is baby corduroy. I don't know if you've been able to tell. And I'm going over this a lot because I want to make sure those elastics stay put. Like so. As you can see, all we have left. These are going to be shorts on him. I just realized that. But that's okay because he's a little baby boy. And that's going to be just fine. But I'm going to pin these in place. Although now I'm tempted to run some elastic through here as well. I'm not going to do it. Resist the urge. I resist. Oh, and he's going to have some little, white sneakers to go with his outfit. To tie the shirt in to the outfit, you know? And then over here. And I'm going to open up this seam. That will help reduce bulk in the crotch. Come on. I cannot get my thumb to cooperate with me today. What, neither of you? What a couple of boogers. My thumbs are horrible. But just today. Okay. Here we go. This will make a finished pair of pants. But they're shorts. I'm going to have to double check if that pattern was supposed to be for 14-inch dolls. But I don't think it was. This is definitely a pattern for 16-inch dolls. Here we go. And believe it or not, these pants are done. Let me show you. This is cute. Let me show you. Look at that. That is a complete pair of pants. Oh my God, the little pockets. I always thought tiny little pockets on children's clothes were funny because what are they keeping in their tiny pockets? Their tiny wallet, their tiny cell phone? Obviously not. I have a feeling this elastic's gonna be too big. Yeah, these are shorts. Why they claim to be pants, I don't know. They are short pants. Now the elastic is just fine. We don't need to squeeze the doll. Look at the little pockets. Oh, look at that. They're not even shorts. You do need a lint roller. But look at that. That's a nice little pair of trousers. Little bum pockets. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Okay, let me keep going. Because we've got to finish this shirt. We're almost there. I have no idea how long this video is going to be. But I can tell you it typically does take me longer to make the outfit than it does to refurbish the doll. So this is not unusual. It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. Now I have to put a voiceover on this because I'm doing my ADHD vocalizations, which is gonna get me a copyright strike. Oh, somebody's in the kitchen. Let me know when you're done recording. Sure. So yeah, there's somebody in the kitchen, but he's trying very hard to be respectful of the fact that I'm recording, which is wonderful, and I appreciate it. So, we have our nice sleeves now. That's going to look just fine on a little boy. However, we need a hem down here, so I'm going to do that right now. Here we go. Come on, work with me. I can do a very tiny roll here, or I can just fold it up, and I think I'm going to do this. I think this will be easier on me. All right. And I always tend to fold shirts to the back, the seams to the back. Yeah, this is good because I'm going to want this to be as long as possible. Like so. If you're not as confident as I pretend to be with keeping your folds even like this, there is absolutely nothing wrong with using a measuring guide. For real. The tools are there. Use them to your heart's content. And there's nothing wrong with being precise either. I'm just too lazy. I want my instant gratification. And I think a lot of people who say, oh God, no, I can't sew. I wonder if the lack of instant gratification is actually what's getting in their way. Because if you try to hurry up, you're going to mess it up. But people with ADHD, we want results, and we want them now. And, you know, when you try to rush, you create problems for yourself. I just lost a pin. It's okay. But you got to pay attention. And as my dad likes to say, there's never time to do it right. There's always time to do it over. So, yeah, even if you're a chaos goblin such as myself, you really want to take the time to make sure you do it right. Otherwise, why bother? There we go. And there's my lower hem. So, next, I need to attach the collar. And I'm going to take a break to do that because I don't I don't actually know how. I have to go read the instructions. But this goes on the outside, and the band goes on the inside somehow. So I'm going to have to read the instructions and find out. All right, here I am again. Here's the best. It would have been boring to watch, so I just did it. Got little pieces of strings everywhere, but it's good. I used my serger light stitch and a straight stitch, and it's good to go, like so. Now we just gotta finish this shirt. All right, so I double checked, and I absolutely did make a mistake. I was supposed to leave some of this open, but I misread and I got carried away. So I'm gonna fix it when I get to it, which means I'm gonna have to take my seam ripper and go in here and open it up and insert the, yeah, you'll see. But we'll get it done. So here I go. Seriously? Oh, for the love of it. That gets on my nerves. I am using an incredibly scant seam allowance because the shoulder is right there. And I gotta be very careful. The reason the shoulder is right there is because Cabbage Patch Kids don't really have a lot of shoulder. So it's really hard to give them a lot of shoulder in their garments. Gotta be careful. All clothes are just so tiny. You gotta be so careful. All right. All right. Here we are. So I'm gonna seam rip this open the way it was supposed to be, and then I will insert the collar and we'll get this finished up. All right, so I used my seam ripper and I picked it open and stuck it in there. Is that how it's supposed to be done? No, but that is going to be the quickest, easiest way to fix it without just cutting new bands. And I don't want to cut new bands. So here we go. I almost turned my camera off. So I'm going to do a very careful stitching right along the edge here, catching everything. I hope I'm catching everything, because if I'm not, I'm gonna cry. But yeah, I completely misunderstood the instructions. Being dyslexic, I don't blame myself for that. I consider it a blessing I can read it all. But I can read. I'm just kind of slow at reading. And then between the dyslexia and the ADHD, man, I gotta read things 100 times. Plus, anytime I'm trying to follow instructions, all I hear is Thomas the Tank Engine's theme song in my head. So I'm reading instructions, but all I'm hearing is do 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 do, which is ridiculous. Let's be honest. All right, I'm gonna snip my strings, but it looks like we're good. Yay! Look at that. Just gonna snip my strings, get my fasteners, dig out some pretend buttons. We're gonna be good to go. We'll be back soon. All right, so now I'm trying to figure out, do I want to use these little white buttons, these slightly larger white buttons, or these slightly brownish buttons? I'm leaning towards slightly brownish. I'm also leaning towards gluing them on because they're not going to be functional, they're going to be decorative, and I don't want to sew all those tiny holes. What do you think? I'm thinking, yeah, I'll go with the little brown ones. All right, technically I'm done. I made both vests. One of them will go to this guy and somebody else will wear the other one. Cats and mice. So do we coordinate colors or use complementary colors? Well, I'm gonna get this guy dressed and then I'll show you. Right, look at that, he's done. I'm about to go get his name. I hope you're ready. We did decide on this. It looks great with his bright blue eyes. Meanwhile, other stuff that I've made and not used yet is turning into almost an entire other outfit for somebody else. Not her. She's going to wear blue. But once I get a blouse in there, that's going to be a whole outfit. Meanwhile, he's dressed. We're waiting on his shoes to be printed. But he's done, and I'm going to go fetch his name.